Go and look at all of my other videos. I'm trying something new here today. So I'm really into commentary videos, and I'm like a commentator myself, but not on social media. Not on YouTube. I tend to talk about with the positive messages and the negative messages. I should take my ideas to YouTube and start trying to make videos like this. So if you go and search through my channel, you probably will see that I'm more into lifestyle vlogs. I like vlogging because they're natural. I don't have to put a lot of effort into them. I'm just lazy. Okay, she's lazy. So I'm just going to push myself a little bit further and try to do more commentary videos as I see fit. So with that being said, share this video if you like the video, dislike the video. It actually doesn't matter. All of that helps my engagement. Comment on the subject matter. Comment if you want more videos like this. And let's just get straight into it. Okay, y'all. So anyways, I practice this so much, and now I forget everything that I practice is completely going out the window. So anyway, the subject matter. So the woman, the modern woman myth. Okay, so the interesting thing about this is I do not watch these like dating gurus and stuff like Derek Jackson and this new person that I found most recently. What's his name? Kevin Samuels. I actually don't think that he's a dating guru. He's a image consultant is what he calls himself, and he just so happened to stumble across making these videos critiquing women's images as well as men, and giving them pointers and giving them ideas about themselves and how to make themselves look better, act better, to achieve like a happier lifestyle. And possibly find, a helpmate for you in the future, in the long run, or whatever. So, as a disclaimer, quickly, I want to just say, I love Kevin Samuels' videos. I just stumbled across his channel not even a week ago. It's just this particular video that I'm going to give pushback on. It didn't necessarily strike a nerve. A lot of the things that he was saying makes sense, but however, I'm just like looking at this whole little modern woman concept that he has put into place. That a lot of people, he has a lot of viewers, that a lot of likes versus dislikes. So that means there's a lot of like-minded individuals, watching his videos. And so, man, I'm out of Red Bull. So that means that he basically he has a lot of people watching his videos who pretty much agree with him. And I just want to dive a little bit. I'm not going to dive deep into it, but I have a cesspool of notes that I've taken on this particular video. So we're going to just get straight into it. So today's modern woman, let's define the modern woman. So these are all my definitions of what a modern woman is based on readings that I've done also, and based on some of the things that Kevin Samuels was saying in his video. All right, so modern woman defined. Today's modern woman, or today's modern, women are defined as women who don't need a man, women who go Dutch on dinner dates, aka 50-50, women who speak their mind and find no fault in that, women who are tough and also who are soft but can still be strong and do all the things that a man can do better. Hopefully I define that well, but it's like a broad definition of what a modern.
And that's the reason why most of them are alone with dysfunctional families sometimes. Got to say that modern women are mostly feminists. And what most black women don't understand, feminism is another form of white supremacy. But that's just a story for another topic, another day.
Modern woman is. We're going to get into Kevin Samuels' definition of a modern woman in a minute, but that's like pretty much what I found, and doing a little reading here and there and listening to him. That's the modern woman, right? So from the outside looking in, you might think, oh, that's not a terrible definition of a modern woman. Hey, I want to be a modern woman. Sign me up. I think that there's a lot wrong with that. More specifically, Kevin Samuels posted a video towards the modern Black woman, and the video title is Modern Women and All the Issues She Possessed. Oh, I'm lying. I'm lying. That's not the video title. That's what I took from the video. The modern woman and all of the problems she got. The video is called What's Going On with Modern Women. It will be tagged below. I'm going to tag it below. I have a tan, y'all, because I just got my hair cut back like this. So where my baby hairs were, it's tanned. So I have to get in the sun so that my skin can be even, where my hairline is with the haircut. It's throwing me off. You guys probably don't even see it. Side note. All right, so let me calm down. Okay, so the video title is What's Going On with Modern Women? And here are a few topics that were presented in the video, okay? He touched on OnlyFans and how the women who have OnlyFans accounts perceive themselves and how they're making themselves look in, today's universe, the 2021. So the 2021 modern woman, 9 times out of 10 has an OnlyFans account. Modern women have poor image. He also says that we need to rehab our image as modern women, and who needs to help us are women over 35. He is charging women over 35 with the task to help the younger women understand the ways of the world.
Here's the let me let her finish speaking.
So here's the problem that I have with that, okay? How I feel about Kevin Samuels and his perspective on newer generation women, i.e. millennials and Generation Z. And Generation Z actually doesn't even count necessarily because they are super teenagers. Like, they're young. If anything, there's a Generation Z, 17, 18-year-olds. Maybe a 19-year-old. I'm not sure.
Okay, she's talking a little bit much. I'm going to just put in what I got to say. Okay, every tribe, every community, they would learn from the older people, okay, within their tribe, elders, shaman, priests. The old people represent history. The young represent the future. Okay, this is why in war, when they conquer the people, they would sometimes slaughter the older people because they represent the history. They represent knowledge of the community, of what that tribe stood for. Okay. Older people, the ones that lived before the young, they are to teach the young how to live. And the older women are supposed to teach the younger women how to get husbands, how to behave like women, so they could have a husband and have a strong family and not destroy their family unit. Okay. And a lot of women don't understand that. Okay. They have that old saying in the book of Proverbs: a foolish woman destroys her own house with her own hands. That's true. Whether you don't like hearing quoting of, the Bible, that is true. Okay. There are many families destroyed by women's foolish actions and women who don't want to listen. And I'm sorry, with the modern one with the nose piercing and stuff like that, it's unattractive and it already shows rebellion. Let's keep going.
But I think the 19-year-olds up until now are considered millennials. Don't quote me on that. I have to do my research. But what I feel is this is extremely detrimental to the culture, and to people who are growing up, people who are getting in the internet age now, people who are doing their research and might stumble across a video like this that is titled What's Going On with Modern Women. That's not every woman. Kevin Samuels is highly active on.
A hit dog will holler. If it don't apply, let it fly. If it's not about you, why would you say, oh, he's talking about all? You see, this is the thing. All modern women may not have Instagram accounts. All modern women may not have OnlyFans. All modern women may not be sex workers. But most modern women have a rebellious attitude towards gender roles and believe in the fake lie that men and women are equal. or women could do things better than men. No, women are designed to do certain functions that are not for men to do. Men cannot get pregnant. That is for women. Women are to nurture homes. That is not for men. Okay? Men are to work long, grueling hours at times to provide for the family. Women are not meant for that. They get depressed. They get angry. There's been research on this. They get angry. They can't cope with it. Women want to have equal pay as men, but not in the fact of actually working the same equal hours for equal pay, but because of the fact that they feel because they're born with a uterus and ovaries that they should get the equal pay for men. Never mind the fact that they have to work the same amount of hours. They don't want to do that. There was an article called Greedy Work, and women didn't want to work long hours as men. They just wanted the pay. In other words, they know they're not equal to men, but they want, they know they're not equal to men. They cannot outlast men when it comes to labor, but they want the same amount of pay as if they did and as if they could. This is the thinking of modern women.
On social media, and he is fully committed and engaged to creating content that is watchable, that is relatable, that is educational in a sense. This is not the everyday woman, the woman who has an OnlyFans and who's quote unquote investing the money that she's making in OnlyFans into another business that she has. And then that business, she's investing money into another business that she has. That is not every woman, and it's detrimental. And a lot of people are calling Kevin Samuels' videos poison to their ears, because my mom made a quote earlier when I told her about the video that I was currently about to make. And so it resonated with me so well, I wrote it down. We were on the phone, and she was just saying that women are not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. And one of the main...
They're not a one-size-fits-all type of thing, but there are women who in America and in Western countries believe the stuff that is poisoning our society with, feminism, and the fact that they don't have to commit to marriages. They don't have to commit to relationships. They can have kids out of wedlock, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. And a lot of things, they're okay with this crooked family court system. They're okay with the fact of women having all the rights. But if a man acts that, there should be mandatory paternity tests at birth, all of a sudden women are up in arms. No. It's only poison to your ears because you're getting convicted and you don't like being told the truth, and you don't like the fact of, in some sense, you're being held accountable for what you're hearing. I don't agree with everything Kevin Samuels says, but there are a lot of things that he's on the money on, and a lot of women, modern women, just cannot handle it, and they don't like it, and they're even going as far as to get pastors to try and, pastors like Creflo Dollar to try and down Kevin Samuels. They even trying to go on Hot 97 and try to say, oh, he's wrong. Getting simps like Umar Johnson to go against Kevin Samuels, going against the things that he's saying, because these modern women don't like being held accountable, and they're mad when it happens. I would like to know, is her mother a single mother?
Main problems, and why Kevin Samuels feels that he can talk about women in a way like this, that makes women feel that they're less than, or the things that they're doing and the way that they're going about their life is not right, is that
it's not right. They call on his show and he gives them the truth, and they're mad because he's giving them the truth. And they want to call him gay and everything. And I've said it before. If he is gay, what does it matter to you? Because majority of the black modern women in our society support gays. But because he's not on your team, because he's not kissing your backside, as many black gay men do, they want to compete with black women. They don't want to understand that. That's the issue. Because if he was gay and, if he was gay and kissing your backside, you wouldn't have a problem but if he was gay and holding you accountable because he is a man and he sees what black women do, and black women love to open up their mouth and just, run with this diary of the mouth, just all that information about themselves comes out. And then they wonder why they're getting exposed. That's the real reason. That is the real reason. Because if he was gay, I mean, he has some mannerisms. We'll be honest. Yeah, he got some mannerisms. Just saying. But doesn't deny the fact that what he's saying is true. And a lot of black women don't like it. I mean, I hate to say, but the thing is, like, it's just showing the hypocrisy of black women and showing more and more that they are in the wrong. And they just don't like their feelings being hurt. They just want to spout off at the mouth and never be challenged and never be corrected on their bad behavior and their bad thinking process. You even got women calling Kevin Samuels' show, thanking them for helping them save their marriage.
He has an idea. He has a picture in his head of the perfect woman. He mentioned it in one of his videos. The type of woman or the ideal woman that he goes for is typically an AKA woman on a darker, like my skin tone or darker, soft face, long hair, fit, thin. That's not everybody. And so the women that you want they don't exist for every other male. And so this whole notion of finding a quote unquote high valued man is looking for a high valued woman. My main problem is if you're not high value to him unless you're a size 2, 4, 6. So 0, 2, 4, or 6. 8 and up, it's like a no to him. All right, but we'll get into that later. I'm kind of diving too far in, and I'm not even really.
The fact is, there are some men that like thick women, but those women have to have a good attitude, and it can't be with this modern mentality, modern women mentality. That's the point. You may not be a 2, but you better have an attitude and the disposition of a woman that is not with this modern mentality. Because all you're going to do is just have him leave you and you'll be a single mother.
Honing in on my whole point in my commentation just yet. So back to the main points. Charging these older women with teaching the younger women. All right, so the problem with that is older women don't necessarily have the answers either. I love my mom to death. Like that, she's my biggest fan, my number one inspiration. But my mama don't take no shit from no man. So what is it that I'm actually supposed to learn from her? Now, granted, she's been with my stepdad 20 plus years, but before she met him, I distinctly remember, because I'm 29, I distinctly remember how my mom used to act, when she was seeing other people, which was rare. She didn't see other guys, but it was just like as soon as a man did something to her, she wasn't accepting it anymore. So Kevin Samuels' notion is that we are supposed to endure. And eventually, when the man comes around and he sees what is beside him and he sees, oh my God, this.
Wait a minute. But women expect the same thing. You are supposed to put up with your woman. You're supposed to do that. I remember watching a woman talking about Kevin Samuels, how, you need to, you're talking about how it's the man's fault that, the women are single mothers and how he should have stayed there and he should have endured the mother. But when it's the other way around, you don't want to do that. Give me a break. Your father was cheating. Okay, he left. Now turn it around. Why did daddy leave? Daddy left because mommy wouldn't stop cheating. Mommy wouldn't straighten up. Oh, he's not a man. He's a punk. He's supposed to endure that. You see the come on now. If you want to talk about marriage being better for worse, then both sides have to endure the worst that each other can be. That's it. Both parties. He cheats a lot. All right. Endure. She cheats a lot now. Endure. That's how it goes. 50 freaking 50. If that's the way you guys want it. That's an enduring marriage, for better or for worse. Okay. And the thing is, the sad thing is like you got a lot of these Disney movies, you got a lot of these fantasy movies telling lies to women, a lot of these leftist ideologies, and marriage sucks. Marriage is not easy. It's hard. It's grind. You have your good times. You know what they don't have in the marriage scrapbooks? You don't have the bad times. That's a relationship sometimes. I'm not saying if he's, whooping you up, separate from him. All right. But when a man says, you know what, I'm not going to take this, I'm out. You're not going to be putting hands on me. Just like with Trina, right? Trina was beaten on back in the day in the 90s. Trina was dating a basketball player and Trina was beating on him. Okay. The third time he thought about snapping on her, but he left. But now, but at that time they looked at, oh, okay, he's 6 foot, he's an NBA player, he probably was cheating on her. That's what they think. See, that's what they think. When it's a woman, your indiscretions, it's okay. Gloss over it. Okay. A man, no, we're nailing him to the cross or nailing him harder than Jesus. And when a man decides to walk away, don't hit her. Just walk away. He's still the bad guy. Still the bad guy. She was abusive. Still the bad guy.
This woman that I have in my life, she's the one. I'm going to finally do right. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to be cheap. I'm going to take care of myself so I can take care of her. I'm going to spoil her just like she spoils me. He wants you to endure, which is why he is called the Godfather, because he is old as hell. No offense, but he's 51. What can a 51-year-old man teach me? I'm a 29-year-old woman.
This is the dumb crap that came out of her mouth. Your mother's older than you. Have you ever said that? Your mother's what 46, something, 50, 60? What can she teach you? This is why men in the manosphere, MGTOW, red pill, are making bank, because women like this say the ignorant stuff like that. Imagine if her child said, what can you teach me? Of course, she's going to give her child a $5 discount to say something like that, because she knows why. Because she's been on this earth longer than that child's been alive. It's the same thing. He's been on this earth longer than you've been alive, and he can teach you things. You may not agree with everything he says. I don't agree with everything he says, but there are things that he says that do make sense, and those are the things that you take to heart. Eat the meat, spit out the bones. And for some reason, you can't get that, yet you're claiming that he's wrong. All right. Continue.
Who has had faith in a man, who got married when she was 20 years old. 2 years before she had her first child, her only child. I did all of those things. I loved him. I nurtured him. I cared for him. I allowed him to do things to me that other women just would not allow, in hopes that he would be the man that I wanted him to be. Because
No. You endure, but at the same time, you don't take mess. And even if you have to separate, you separate. Doesn't mean be a dog. You separate. If he's cheating on you, all right, cool. You know what? We're not having sex anymore. We're not having sex until we get a STD test. That's it. That's it. Enduring doesn't mean being a doormat. You can endure and put your foot down. Both of you all get an STD, depending what it is. Both of you all will not be alive to take care of the child that you guys have.
I was the woman that he wanted me to be. But you know what I was told by his mom? I'm just too strong. Diamond, you're just too strong. You need to be a little bit more weak. I tried to be a little bit more weak. It didn't work. Nothing worked. So this is my point in making the video.
Well, shoot. There's nothing wrong with being strong. A strong person, if you're not taking Pearson's crap, in that situation. I'm not really believing a woman telling another woman you're too strong. That don't make no sense. I'm having a hard time believing this woman now. I really am. What person says you're too strong? You should be weak. No person ever. I'm not believing her. I'm sorry. I just don't believe her.
Yeah. The things that Kevin Samuels is teaching ain't gonna work for everybody. It's not fair for you to say, well, you need to do X, Y, and Z, and if you can't do it, these older women can teach you how the game used to go. Because how the game used to go, they ain't gonna die alone. I hate to break it to you, Kevin, and all your fans, but it ain't about what you teaching. It's not about what the husband thinks, the boyfriend thinks. It's not about what these modern women are doing. Everybody is just going with life. Everyone is just trying to figure this shit out. And I think that it's poisonous for him to, display this notion of what a modern woman is. It's a myth. The modern woman is a myth. I'm a traditional modern woman. I have traditional values. I believe that the woman is supposed to cook. The woman is supposed to clean. She's not supposed to lift a hand up and do any heavy duty work. I believe a woman is supposed to nurture. I believe she's supposed to take care of the children, take care of her man. I believe all of those things. And I did all of those things. And you know what? None of those things worked. And you can't say it's because I'm under.
Sorry, the modern woman. The things she said out of her mouth proves the modern woman exists. I'm sorry, but she made a bad choice in a man. That's all I could say. She made a bad choice in a man. There are things she probably didn't see, didn't know, didn't ask certain questions, and that's just it. Sometimes relationships fail because we didn't ask the right questions. We put things in the front that shouldn't have been at the front, mainly sex, and this is sometimes relationships fall apart. That's basically what I could say. All right.
Attractive. My breath doesn't stink. I'm not unattractive. I'm a size 6. After I had my daughter, I got back down to a size 4. I worked out. And I'm still single, Kevin. I'm still single after all of that. So this modern woman shit is a myth. It's a whole myth, okay? It's a myth. Let's get back to it. All right, some of these other points that he brought up in the video. Just black women are completely out of order, okay? Black women are devolving instead of evolving.
Evalia Vincent has even said that. And she used to be a big supporter of like feminists and feminism and stuff like that. And she has told women, to open your heart and close your legs. That's how bad she has seen how bad it's gotten with modern women. So, sorry, modern women is real. It's real.
He made a point and said, it just seems like black women are, what did he say? They're coming out the house looking and talking any kind of way. It just seems like you just want to go down instead of going up. That ain't every woman, Kevin. And you can't charge the black women who are doing right to help the black women who are doing wrong. You can't put that on us. We can't check every woman. I'm not gonna fight. And in the video, he's like, if you try to check them, you try to tell them the right thing to do and the right ways to go. You can't make every woman decide that she's going to say, hey, young lady, or hey sis, or hey girl, I wouldn't have handled that situation the way that you handled that situation. Instead, this is what I'll do. And the bitch gonna want to slap you in the face. Don't nobody got time for that. No one has time to say to somebody, there's a better way. Knowing how women operate these days, she is not a visual representation of who I am. And he is extremely wrong for that. What is it? Each one teach one. This ain't that in 2021. You know who you are when you are 5 and 6 years old, and it's your parent molding you and shaping you into that person. That little being is who they are at that age. So who am I to say that there's something wrong with you? It's somebody out there that's gonna like it, regardless of if Kevin likes it or not. I just find something wrong with that. Not all black women are devolving, sweetheart. Not all black women have their hopes up too high, Kevin. No, some of us literally play by those quote unquote rules that you are speaking of. And it just is not working because niggas is trying to figure it out. Just like us women. We just all trying to figure it out. And it's not our job to raise up a man. Because I want you to know something. Those high value, Kevin, those high value men that you speak of, I date those type of guys. And at the end of the day, there's always going to be an issue. There's always going to be a problem. And it seems like you have to continue to nurture. But what are they going to give you in return? How are you going to nurture me? Shutting me up with a debit card, with a credit card, with a gift here and there, that's not going to work for every woman. That's why I think that his videos are extremely poisonous, because you're preaching that a high value man should have options. You're preaching that a high value man should be able to cheat. He worked his whole life to be this.
That's where I don't agree with Kevin Samuels. Okay, because if that's the case, then you have to say that women are allowed to cheat. Okay, the thing is like, just because you have money doesn't mean you have morals. So you should have to date a man that has morals. That's it. Date a man with money who has morals. Obviously, you dating men like that, you have to look at their character. I think people, when women listen to Kevin Samuels, there's this part of you that has to think for yourself. Like I said, I listen to him myself, and there are things I do not agree with. I do not agree with the fact that, a woman's dating and she has to give it up on a first date, or a woman is saying she wants to save herself for marriage. Okay. All right, in that situation, I say it's her body, her choice. However, you cannot be dating the same men you are dating before you decided to be chaste and want to believe in premarital sex is wrong. You have to change the type of guys you are dating. You cannot be dating the guys that give you the tingles, they give you the swag. Okay. You have to, that guy you date you have to be attracted to him. At the same time, he respects the fact that you are waiting until marriage, which means you may have to consider dating outside your ethnic group. This is common sense. Okay. That's it. You could look at the video further, but basically this woman really is proving that modern women is a fact. It's not a myth. It's a fact. That's what I got to say about this. Have high value men shouldn't have options, but what Kevin is saying that they do. It's not about cheating. He can easily drop her and date another woman easy because there is competition. Yes, I could agree with that. I mean, saying that they're allowed to cheat would hurt his brand, because now you're saying women can cheat too. You're giving rights to men to be dirtbags, so now it'll have women digging in their heels to stay with the modern women mentality even more. She's still single because she has a daughter and has an attitude problem. That's why she's single. Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's probably it. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, so I'm going to cut this stream. Guys, like the stream, please give a like and subscribe. Also, share the content. I'm also on Podbean, and I'm also on Bigo Live. I stream the same time I stream on Bigo. So I'm also on Anchor.fm. All right, later.